Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9. We'll chant from verses 11 to 16.
अवजानन्ति मां मूढाः मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम् परं भावमजानन्तः मम भूतमहेश्वरम् मोघाशामोघकर्माणः मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः स्वधाहमहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम् अहमग्निरहं हुतम्
So, last week we concluded with verse number 12 of vain hopes, of vain actions, of vain knowledge, senseless. They verily are possessed of the delusive nature of Rakshasas and Asuras. Just reading the translation, we already discussed, just trying to recap the main points. Now, three times he uses the adjective vain, vain meaning moga, that's the Sanskrit word, without real worth, futile, fruitless, unprofitable, thoughtless venture. So, whatever you do in life is without real worth, is a futile exercise. It doesn't make any sense. Vichetasaha, senseless. Now, once you are ignorant of your real nature, which is infinite peace, infinite bliss, and every human being is heir to his or her nature, nobody is denied that. But when you are ignorant, then you get completely caught up in body, mind, intellect, and you try to find happiness in the world through perceptions, actions, emotions, and thoughts. So the direction itself is wrong. I think last week we saw that PowerPoint. So if you're supposed to go right, you're going in the opposite direction, you're going left. Imagine there is a T junction and there are two options. Either you can take right or you can take left. Right is to supreme reality, left is towards the world. So everybody, 99.99% of us, we are going in a wrong direction. Not only we are going in the wrong direction, which is towards the world, to find happiness in the world where it is not there. So the whole exercise has got no meaning. The starting point itself is wrong, isn't it? So therefore, he says the entire thing is mogha, vain. All your hopes, meaning your desires and cravings, they are not going to lead anywhere. Why they are not going to lead anywhere? Because no desire can be satisfied. You try any desire at any level of your personality, there is no such thing called as contentment. You may be fed up, you may give up that pursuit, but you're not going to find contentment, satisfaction, peace by indulging in your desire. Number one. Number two, you do not know what do you want. So therefore, we discussed that example of a bachelor boy, isn't it? That you feel at any point of your like any point in your life that this is what I want. But once you get there, you understand that this is not what I was actually looking for. So therefore, he says, all your desires, all your cravings, they have no meaning. They are endless to begin with, and also you do not know what do you want. And freely we are entertaining desires. Freely we crave for objects and beings of the world. So it leads to misery. That's the outcome. There is no other outcome. And if it is pronounced, if your desire and craving is pronounced, it leads to complete misery. It's endless. Your misery is endless. And due to ignorance, you blame objects and beings of the world. What you don't understand, none of us understand. That stop sign, I had the choice of going right or left. But we took left at that T junction. And then we are complaining, oh, there is no happiness, there is no happiness. Yes, there is no happiness in that direction. So therefore, he says, moghasha, all your desires and cravings is a futile exercise. Similarly, all your actions, they are futile. Why they are futile? Because all actions are desire ridden. Doesn't matter what you do. And any desire ridden action produces more desires. That's the law of life. And we are supposed to reduce and eliminate our desires. That's our mission in life. To reach supreme reality, what you have to do is you have to completely eliminate your desires, because that's the barrier. Human being minus desires equals supreme reality. So again, innocently, all your activities, all your actions, you end up adding more desires instead of removing your desires, eliminating your desires. Similarly, knowledge, whatever knowledge you are pursuing, it is a futile exercise. It's a vain, senseless pursuit, because there is no end to objective knowledge, how much you can pursue. There is no satiation. And again, it adds more desires. That is about all. There is no end to pursuing dream knowledge, isn't it? The only knowledge which can push the dreamer out of the dream world is the knowledge of the waking state. So, similarly, we all are caught up in this conditioned state or conditioned states, dream, waking, deep sleep. These are not our original states, they are conditioned states. So, what we need is a knowledge of unconditioned state, which is the knowledge of truth, supreme reality, divinity. This is the very theme of Vedanta. So, only that knowledge can take you to the state of total liberation. And then the second part of the verse, where he says, such people, ignorant people, when desires are too many, they are possessed of the nature of Rakshasas and Asuras, meaning demonic, highly self centered person. There are enough examples without getting into the details. If you are selfish, you will harm yourself. But if you are selfish at the cost of others, you will harm yourself and you will harm the people around you. Enough examples we can discuss from English literature, like Shakespeare talks about such characters like Macbeth or Claudius or Brutus. So, therefore, the solution is you must turn introvert and find out what is happening to you. And fortunately, we all have the capacity to correct the course of our action. Doesn't matter how far you have wandered off in the wrong lane, how farther you have gone at that stop sign in the left lane, doesn't matter. And anytime, if you choose to, you can retrace your steps. So that's the capacity we all have as a human being. So therefore, only a jnani is a true seeker. I'm just recapping. Chapter 17, he talked about different types of seekers. Most seekers, 99% of them, they want something worldly from their spiritual, religious pursuits, which is opposite of being religious, opposite of being spiritual. So they are ignorant, they are innocent. So therefore, they do not know what are they asking for, and whatever they are asking for, it is vain. It's futile. It's not going to lead anywhere. So these were the main points we discussed in verse number 12. So are we okay with this verse? No questions? Okay, good. Verse number 13, please.
महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्.
Verse 13 translation. But Mahatmas, great soul, wise people, O Partha, O Arjuna, possessed of my divine nature, worship me with unwavering mind. Ananya manasaha, underline that word. Having known me to be the imperishable source of beings. Now, whenever in scripture enlightened master uses the pronoun I or me, it means the self, supreme reality, not his or her personality. And the word ananya manasaha, with unwavering mind. So the word ananya has been used throughout Bhagavad Gita. Even in Upanishad, they use this word. It means constancy of thought on the supreme reality, ananya. That constancy of thought on the ultimate purpose of your life. And it cannot be part time. What's your ultimate purpose of life? Once in a week, I want to think about that. It doesn't make any sense. It has to be 24/7, it has to be 365 days. So, therefore, a true seeker has that constancy of thought on his or her mission in life. Doesn't matter what you are doing, that is immaterial. So, in and through your activities, at home, at work, whatever you are doing, you should never lose that awareness. So, therefore, they say Ananya. Now, when we say this, you have to maintain that constancy of thought. What is understood is it is a state, it's not a practice. Otherwise, what's the difficulty? So we discussed for 10 minutes, constantly, 24/7, 365 days in a year. You think of your ultimate mission in life, think of the supreme reality. Are we able to do that? Can we do that? From 10:30 onwards for the rest of your life, can we do it? Is my question. Okay, some of you say, I did not know this before. Now you know. So you can't say you don't know. Clearly, it is saying that constancy of thought doesn't matter what happens. You maintain that consistent awareness of the supreme reality in best and worst of circumstances. So my question is, can we do that? Can we maintain that awareness 24/7? If yes, please explain. If no, please
We
explain.
can't do, we cannot do. But
Explain.
because the mind is not ready. It goes all over the place. And we are caught up in the world where what we're looking for doesn't exist anymore.
Anybody doesn't agree with Billa uncle? His name is Dr. Jagdish Sachdeva.
I think
Affectionately, we call him Billa uncle. Like Partha, how Krishna calls Arjuna Partha. So we call him Billa uncle.
I agree that it seems to be impossible, but if the scriptures tell us that it is possible, then there must be some way to do it. And that's why we're trying to learn how to do it.
Right. Any other thoughts?
Amitji, it feels like it reminds me of the shloka Swadhyayena cha yogena jnanena cha bharatarshava. So, like, these are the things you have to do. I mean, it's not easy, but he has prescribed these methods to do that.
Correct. So you're throwing question back at me.
No,
Just
no, no.
rephrase my question. So
Yeah.
yes or no?
I
Talk like
would
an American.
say
Don't talk like
yes.
an Indian. I often say, be
I would
straightforward.
I would say yes, but it is difficult.
How long you have been in America?
Oh, me, I'm since 2009, Amitji.
Still, that Indianness is
Yeah.
there quite a bit.
Yeah.
We have the capacity to do it.
See, all the correct answers. Forget the joke part. See, therefore, it is a state. We all want to reach that state. We all want to get there, but it's not easy. It's not a practice. Yes, definitely once in a while we have to remind ourselves. It goes without saying. But in spite of that, that's what Uncle Sachdeva was saying. It's not easy because mind will keep going to the objects and beings of the world. It will not allow you to maintain that constancy of thought. So the way to deal with that, how you get that fixation, is by understanding and analyzing life. That you can never find true fulfillment in life. It's not possible. The only fulfillment you can find in life is when you get to the source of your personality, the core of your personality, which is supreme reality, self or Atman. It's a state of infinite peace, infinite bliss. And unless and until you reach your original state, you cannot find that contentment. Go by your own experience. It's not that we are miserable people, it's not that we are sad people. But have you found that contentment? It's not possible. Why there is no contentment? Why there is no ultimate peace? Why there is no true fulfillment? Because we all have deviated from our original nature, the core of your personality. We often give that example of coiled spring. 4 foot spring, if you compress it to 1 foot, it is going to exert pressure on your palm. You can't avoid that. So similarly, there is that constant pressure. It's a question of more or less to find that infinite peace. And due to ignorance, we are trying to find that peace by acquisition and enjoyment, by indulging in the world, by contacting the world. It produces only more desires. So wise people, they understand that. So therefore it says, but Mahatmas, great souls, meaning wise people, people who have got the gist of this knowledge. So they understand that if you want to find true peace, fulfillment, contentment, harmony, use any word, you have to invest in the self, self meaning supreme reality. And how do you invest in supreme reality? See, you are investing in everything else except supreme reality. You are investing in your health. You should, why not? You want good health. You are investing your wealth. Why not? You need to manage your wealth correctly. You are investing in your career, you are investing in this, you are investing in that, but all that is transcendental, it's a passing phenomena. So what are you doing to invest in supreme reality and divinity? So how do you invest in supreme reality? By your daily study and reflection. It is as simple as that. Every day in the morning, can you not invest in supreme reality? 30 to 45 minutes every day. Is it possible or is it not possible? It's like asking, can you not invest? Go back to that stop sign example. You want to go to right. Can you not invest in that journey as opposed to left? Anything on the left doesn't make any sense. So what you need to do is your daily association with this knowledge, your morning study and reflection, 30 to 45 minutes is all that you need to do. So wise people, they have understood that. And when you invest in study and reflection, it purifies your desires. And eventually it starts eliminating your desires. And when your desires are offloaded to a good extent, you qualify for meditation, and through meditation you reach the ultimate state of self-realization. So wise people, they invest in this pursuit. Are you getting the message? So what are you investing in? You are investing in, through study and reflection, to purify your desires, to eliminate your desires, to qualify for meditation, and eventually reach the state of self-realization, merge with supreme reality. So therefore he says, Mahatmas, great soul, wise people, they have understood this. Number one. Number two, as you start putting efforts through your study and reflection, you get detachment from the world, meaning you remain in the world like any other person, but you start functioning in a spirit of detachment. Padma Patra, we often give that example like a lotus leaf. Lotus leaf is in water 24/7, but it has got nothing to do with water. It has that greasy surface. So similarly, when you study, reflect, purify your personality, what is it that you gain? You get that detachment from the world. And that's what you want to deal with any aspect of the world. Best and worst of circumstances, what will keep you happy, calm, peaceful is that detachment. But if you don't do that, if you don't have that built-in detachment, sense of renunciation in action, you will be tossed by the world. And this is what is happening to everybody. It's a question of more or less. So if you're going through some mental turmoil, stress, worry, anxiety, it's because your direction itself is wrong to begin with. Number two, what are you doing to correct your direction? You need to invest in the study of the scriptures. Most people, they are not doing anything. So therefore, it does not help. So wise people, they invest in the study of the scriptures. And when you invest in the study of the scriptures, when you get that detachment, sense of renunciation in whatever you are doing, everything is added on to you. That's the beauty. Peace, success, harmony, contentment, everything will come knocking at your door. The moment you chase objects and beings of the world, they leave you, they harass you. The moment you leave them mentally, they come back to you. And thirdly, investment in this knowledge of Vedanta, knowledge of scripture, never goes to waste. It is never wasted. Moment to moment, life to life. So this is what you carry, nothing else. Yesterday, I was watching a fascinating documentary. I found it very educational. Like how Germany rebuilt itself after World War II. They shown Berlin. It is total ruins. Nothing is there. Absolutely nothing. What is left is ruins everywhere. And within 5 to 10 years or whatever, 15 years, we had a powerful nation. They were showing, mostly the ladies, because most of the men, they were killed in battle. Like hundreds of them, they are collecting rubble, in the buckets and huge line they are forming. So everything else was destroyed except what? Materially is gone, there is nothing. The only thing which war could not, I'm giving example from relative level. The only thing which they could not destroy in Germany was what?
Antaratma.
Hmm?
Antaratma.
Yeah, Antaratma is there, of course.
They could
But-
destroy. Bombs could destroy it.
Sorry?
Bombs could not destroy it.
Yeah, bombs. Yeah, that is correct. But from more from like mundane point of view,
Is it
Spirit.
Hmm?
Spirit of them.
the people?
the spirit, the indomitable spirit. So therefore, we find, all, if you want to buy a good quality car, I'm not getting into details. Which car would you buy? If you want engineering and a good machinery, which machinery would you buy? So you can't beat Germany in that. So that could not be taken away. So similarly, you may get something, life may be favorable to you, why not? Life may not be that favorable to you, but what you will not lose is this capacity with this knowledge to face any challenge of life, to relate to the world. That nobody can take away from you. Therefore, we say when you invest in this knowledge, it never goes to waste. Moment to moment, life to life. But deluded people, ignorant people, They waste their entire life gaining nothing. That's what we learned in verse number 12. And as end approaches, it becomes worse. Once you cross 60, 70, 75, whatever, you know your end is coming. You know you cannot take anything with you. So that feeling is terrible. That attachment, that possessiveness to your family members, to your wealth, or whatever it is, your assets. You're going to walk into the unknown. We don't know where are we going. So as your end comes, it becomes worse. So that's what happens to ignorant people. So therefore, that fixation is required on what is your real purpose of life. And how you keep that going is by your own understanding of life. I hope you get the thought flow, what I am trying to convey. See, otherwise, it's very easy to say. Okay, think of the divinity 24/7. Thank you for telling. But none of us are able to do that. We cannot do that. Why we cannot do that? Because we are ignorant. We are ignorant of what? That all our pursuits, they are going to lead nowhere. All our desires, all our cravings, they only end up in misery. So the moment you understand that, you just change internally. You don't have to do anything different. That somebody may ask, okay, what should I do? No, you stay where you are. Same family, same profession, everything remains same. Internally, you are a different person. We often use the word neti neti. They use in the scriptures, not this, not this. You may have best of family, why not? But you understand neti. This is not true happiness. You may lose your spouse. It could be early in life, late in life. So it's not, nothing is permanent. But you may enjoy a beautiful, harmonious relationship with your spouse. Why not? But you tell yourself internally, neti, neti. You may have a lot of wealth. You could be well to do. Neti, neti, not this, not this. You may have power, you may have beauty, you may have everything. But internally, you tell yourself, neti, not this. Neti means not this. So this is how you educate yourself. So the word is ananya. Ananya manasaha, with unwavering mind. So are we okay? Verse number 14, please.
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते.
Translation: always glorifying me. Satatam meaning always. Always glorifying me, meaning supreme reality. Striving, firm in vows, prostrating before me with devotion, ever steadfast, they worship me. Nitya Yukta. Again, previous word, he used the word Ananya. Here he is using the word Nitya Yukta, ever steadfast. So you cannot be a part-time spiritual seeker. If you, the moment you say I'm a seeker, what is understood is it has to be 24/7. It has to be 365 days in a year. That's the purpose of your life. See, you can't be spiritual once a week. Once a week I go to church, once a week I go to temple. Fine, great, why not? But what are you doing in between? Ask yourself this question. Once a week or twice a week I attend this class. I'm doing e-learning also every day in the morning. Great, congratulations. But 1 hour in a day you're studying Vedanta. What are you doing 23 hours in a day? So therefore, spirituality is not a part-time pastime. It's a full-time awareness of the reality. Your life is, you're a seeker, doesn't matter what you are doing. That is a true spiritual person. So the choice of, I'm going to explain what it means. So the choice of words here hints at Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga is path of action, Bhakti Yoga is path of devotion. Verse number 15, he talks about Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge. So we all know that there are 3 spiritual disciplines: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Path of action, path of devotion, path of knowledge. These 3 spiritual disciplines are necessary for you to evolve spiritually. Without these 3 disciplines, you cannot evolve spiritually. And when we say spiritual evolution, what is understood is you purify your desires to begin with, and then you eliminate your desires. Let's not forget the main concept. Human being minus desires equals self or supreme reality. So the barrier is desires, and desires are at 3 levels of our personality: action level, emotion level, and thought level. So therefore, these 3 spiritual practices, they purify our desires to begin with, and eventually they eliminate our desires. So how do you eliminate desires? Through action. That technique is called as Karma Yoga. How you purify your emotions? That technique is called as Bhakti Yoga, path of devotion. And how you remove ignorance through knowledge? That technique is called as Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge. So Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Now, when we say these 3 spiritual disciplines are necessary for you to evolve spiritually, it has to be 24/7. If it is not 24/7, what happens? See, that's what I've been harping on even in the last. It cannot be 24/7. It is 365 days in a year. And most people, they believe this is my spiritual life, this is my worldly life, mundane life. So how often can you be spiritual? So most of the time, what are you doing? You're forced to do. So how many hours in a day you can be spiritual? And we are saying you have to be spiritual 24/7. You get the question. So therefore, people, they believe it's not possible. It's not practical, and they're not wrong. But they don't know what these techniques they mean, what it actually means. Few hours to be practical. So you can be spiritual if somebody really tries. But when we talk about Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, service, devotion, knowledge, it is not a different activity. It is your life. Service, devotion, knowledge is your life. Doesn't matter what you do. So when we talk about Karma Yoga, it is nothing, path of action is nothing but working in the spirit of service and sacrifice in whatever you do. Period. It is as simple as that. You carry that attitude in your bosom when you contact the world. At home to begin with, forget about the world. When you contact your wife, when you contact your spouse, when you relate to your spouse, A meets B. What should be your attitude at home? How can you practice karma yoga at home? Usually, those who are reputed to be karma yogi, they cannot get along with their spouses at home. A misunderstanding of karma yoga. That guy has done great service to the community, but he has done great disservice to his own wife. What about that? So, how do you practice karma yoga at home with your wife? Forget about anybody else. With your partner, how do you practice it? Which is 24/7, you have to practice. You can't say, 1 hour in a day I'll be nice to her. Rest of the time, what? So, how do you practice karma yoga with your wife at home, with your family members? Do you do anything differently? No. You just carry that attitude in your bosom. This is what I have been insisting on. You work in the spirit of service and sacrifice. You feel that way. That doesn't mean you're a passive person. That doesn't mean you're a doormat. You genuinely feel, what can I do for my wife? Just do your duties. It is as simple as that. Instead of demanding, oh, what are my rights? So karma yoga is nothing but you entertain that spirit of service and sacrifice in whatever you do, in all transactions of your life. To begin with, at home, that is important. At work, whatever profession you are in, you could be in working in IT, you could be in medicine, you could be in law, you could be in politics, you could be in business, you could be in sports, doesn't matter. Why are you doing whatever you are doing? So if your thoughts are on, let's say, a doctor, he genuinely thinks in terms of how can I help my patients. A lawyer genuinely thinks, how can I help my client? That doesn't mean you don't charge fee, it doesn't mean you do it free. Then somebody has to pay for your sustenance. It doesn't mean that. Genuinely you feel that way. A young student at the age of 17, 18, let's say he's doing MBA, he wants to become an engineer. For what? To make money, to get this, to get that, or how can I serve community with my talent, with my knowledge? So you carry that attitude of service and sacrifice in whatever you do. The word throughout we use in Bhagavad Gita is Loka Sangraha. So learn that word. All Indians know that. Work for the welfare of others. That's what it means. Doesn't matter what you are doing. And right from early childhood, this attitude has to be imbibed in children. How you imbibe that in children, this attitude?
By your example.
By our example, that's it. What Tim does, I keep forgetting your son's name.
Calvin.
Calvin. Whatever Tim does, Calvin does. Calvin is a beautiful boy today, and he is, incidentally. Credit goes to who? Tim will not take his. We have to give credit where it is due. Thanks to Tim. So you live your life at home with this attitude. children will automatically emulate you. So karma yoga is not something apart from your life. This is what I'm trying to convey. This is what people believe. Once in a week, I will go, serve in a soup kitchen, or I mean, it's great. Why not? But that is not karma yoga. That particular activity is not karma yoga. Whatever you do, understood, use your intellect. It's not that you're functioning foolishly. You may not be able to serve others, but you entertain that attitude. You feel that way. You genuinely don't want anything from anybody. So if you do that 24/7, you are doing karma yoga, path of action, isn't it? And then he talks about bhakti yoga, path of devotion. So what is bhakti? What is devotion? It is nothing but gratitude towards providence or divinity, which is splashed liberally everywhere. All we need is we just need to become aware of it, that how it is taking care of the whole world, including us. How our body is sustained, how human body is sustained, is a miracle. Why you need miracle? Just you are that miracle. I am that miracle. Ask any doctor. Yeah, how human body is sustained. The fact that I am able to see you, you are able to see me, is it not a miracle? None of us are operating anything, isn't it? Pressing this switch, pressing that switch. Millions of operations are happening in our body. We eat food, how that food is digested, we don't do anything. Nature provides us with so many things. There is fresh water, there is fruit, there is oxygen, there is this, there is that. Who is providing all these things? We develop that attitude of gratitude towards providence, towards God. We can use any word. That is bhakti, that is devotion. And also the way the whole world is functioning, universe is functioning, it's amazing. As if there is an ordiner, which we don't understand. So many laws are functioning meticulously. Law of gravity. If law of gravity does not function even for 10 minutes, what will happen? You all will be thrown somewhere in the space. We don't know. Meticulously it is functioning. How do we get water? H2O. Something goes wrong with that formula for 6 months. There won't be any water in the world. Who is controlling all these things? The ratio of male and female is 50-50. Imagine even for few decades, that ratio is disturbed. 90% females in the world, 10% male. What will happen? Other way around. 90% men and 10% female. There will be anarchy, the chaos in the society. Who is controlling all this? So we bow down to that unknown ordiner. That is devotion. So you carry that 24/7. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You may go to a church or a temple or a mosque to remind yourself of this, but you can carry this attitude of gratitude, that feeling of wonderment 24/7, isn't it? Devotion is nothing but surrender to scriptures. All these great enlightened masters who are teaching us how to live life to begin with. They are telling us beyond body, mind, intellect is our original nature, divinity. We don't know that. So we bow down to them, we surrender to them. So devotion helps you to rise from mundane involvement in the world. That is important. It gives your mind emotions a lift. See, otherwise your mind, your feelings, they are confined to what? All the time. We're not saying it is wrong, but all the time your feelings, your emotions, they are focused on what?
Myself, my body, my mind, my intellect.
Me, my family, my this, my that. We're not saying it is wrong. See, everything terrestrial. So devotion helps you to rise from your mundane involvement, in the world. That is devotion. And you get that, your personality gets that lift. And once you get that lift, it is relatively easy to take off. The initial lift is the problem because of our attachment, because of our possessiveness. So this is how path of devotion or bhakti, it changes the direction of our feelings and emotions. So therefore we are saying path of action, path of devotion has to be 24/7. Are you following the thought flow? And then verse number 15, he talks about path of knowledge.
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्.
Translation. Yet others sacrificing by the yajna of knowledge worship me as one, as distinct, and as manifold, facing all directions. It's all poetry. So what he's talking about is Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge. And Jnana Yoga or knowledge is not erudition or scholarship in the scriptures. You could be PhD in theology and religion and totally ignorant. Possible. So you have mastered all the scriptures, but you are as ignorant as anybody. Another person could be an illiterate and he could be a jnani, a person of wisdom. So when we talk about knowledge, it's not your scholarship in the scriptures. Instantly you may be a scholar. We are not against it. But per se it means nothing. So what is knowledge? What is Jnana Yoga? So to begin with, it is nothing but wisdom or humility to understand we are ignorant. We are ignorant of what? We don't know how to live life to begin with. Let's accept it. This is what scriptures are telling us. We don't know what is supreme reality, which scriptures are talking about. Beyond body, mind, intellect is our true nature. So we don't know. So to begin with, knowledge or Jnana Yoga is you are humble enough to understand your limitations. I don't know how to live life the way it should be lived. I don't know what's the ultimate purpose of life, which scriptures are talking about. So if you, when you humble yourself with this understanding, you become a Jnana Yogi, your spiritual journey starts. You are on the path of knowledge. So therefore, knowledge means humility to begin with. That's the starting point. And once you get the knowledge of the scriptures with your own hard work, through your own study and reflection, that knowledge guides you at every step in your life. That is knowledge. Doesn't matter what you are doing. You develop clarity to manage your life, how to manage your family, how to manage your profession, how to manage everything. Because reflection on the scriptures strengthens your intellect. And when you have a powerful intellect, you have clarity to manage all aspects of your life. Also, when you have that clarity, when intellect is powerful, that powerful intellect channelizes all your activities towards the ultimate goal. The way you manage your finances, the way you manage your family, the way you manage everything. So you understand everything is means to an end. So your intellect channelizes all your activities towards your ultimate goal in life. When you are truly established in the knowledge, you have that ability to see unity in diversity. When you say unity in diversity, meaning you feel one with others. You don't talk about it, you feel one with others. A feeling of oneness with all beings. Now, opposite of this is you see diversity in unity. Divisions, demarcations, and whatnot. And so-called religious leaders, spiritual leaders are responsible for it. So therefore we say right in the beginning, you may be a PhD in theology, you may be a PhD in religion, absolutely ignorant. And what are you preaching? Divisions and demarcations. So what is the test of knowledge? When do you know you're established in knowledge? When you complete Bhagavad Gita, when you complete Upanishad, when you complete a study of Bible, yes, you may do it. This is what we all are doing. But what's that test? You develop that feeling of what?
Oneness
With who?
with
Oneness with God.
everything.
No, with God means what?
You, within you.
Devotion?
with others.
Towards others. Feeling of oneness with God is feeling of oneness with everybody, especially people you don't like. That's the test. Advaishta Sarvabhutanam. Chapter 12, he gives qualities of a bhakta. First quality itself is like a hypersonic missile, which will destroy all of us. Advaishta Sarvabhutanam, one who does not hate any being. I know how I relate to my wife, better not talk about it. I mean, I don't have a wife, I'm just giving you an example. I may talk and talk and talk. The moment talk is over, I'm talking to my wife in a different way, fighting. Advaishta Sarvabhutanam. So that feeling of oneness. So you can't cheat yourself. If you pass this test, then you are a nanny. You may not know Bible, you may not know scriptures, nothing, but you are living the message of the Lord. When you are established in knowledge, you understand what is permanent, what is impermanent in life. Everything in the world is a passing phenomenon, it's impermanent. So you understand what is permanent, what is impermanent. You develop that vision, that is knowledge. So therefore, length of your study does not matter, depth matters. So who is a nanny, who is a man of wisdom, who has a depth? When we say you study and reflect, it's not that you have to master the scripture. One concept, two concepts are enough to change your life. Is that powerful? So depth of your study is important, not the length. It is wisdom that matters, and wisdom is a fruit of your own effort. So therefore, path of knowledge is 24/7. Are you with me? Knowledge of scriptures is not apart from your day-to-day life. How to manage your life is the knowledge of what? The scriptures.
Scripture.
And of course, go beyond. It goes without saying. It's not that you're content with just managing your family, your business. Of course, you need that knowledge. With clarity, you need to manage all aspects of your life. But the ultimate purpose of life is to go beyond all this. So therefore, knowledge is 24/7, has to be 24/7. Devotion has to be what?
24/7.
Service has to be
24/7.
24/7. So what are these three spiritual disciplines? Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Path of action, path of knowledge, path of devotion. What are these three spiritual disciplines? How do you imbibe them in your life? I know it's a stupid question after explaining everything. So these three spiritual disciplines means what? What is spirituality?
Peace.
These three
Devo-
disciplines.
Devotion.
Everything. Service,
Being
devotion.
on the path of
knowledge.
self-evolution.
Sorry?
The three disciplines mean that I am on the path of self-evolution.
Correct, but how do you apply this in your day-to-day life? This is your life. Service, attitude of gratitude, knowledge is your life. Yes, Alex?
For me, as an example, I use myself. It is ego deaths with my ego trips day to day.
Yep. So are we okay? It's time up, yeah, 10:35. I didn't realize. So we'll summarize it next week, and then we'll move on to the next topic, the next concept from verse number 16. So are we okay?
What was the three concepts beside that you mentioned? Was it karma?
Action, service, devotion, knowledge. Path of action, path of devotion, path of knowledge. Service, devotion, and knowledge. These three, forget about Sanskrit words, but they're called as karma yoga. Karma yoga is path of action or path of service. Bhakti yoga is path of devotion. And jnana yoga is path of knowledge. Action, devotion, knowledge. Karma, bhakti, jnana. All right. So,
Thank you.
Thank you,
see you next week.
Thanks,
See you
Amiji.
next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Amiji.